us a little bit about what you collect.
Oh man, there's so much I do collect. So I started off with Funkos, as most people do, and not like recently.
Okay, first Funko you ever collected. Do you remember? Do you remember what your first one was?
I do. My first Funko Pop. There's a story behind it too. So my sister used to work at Toys R Us here before it closed. She was running behind. Me and my mom were there to pick her up, right? And she just like, I'm gonna open the door. Your job is just run around the store and help me clean up stuff, and I'll buy you something. So I did that, and she actually went out and bought me. It was the Spider-Man Homecoming, just a regular Spider-Man pop, like the first pop for that line.
Okay.
And I still have it in my collection to this day. First line I've ever finished too was that line as well. So 2017 is when I started, and it's been downhill from there.
So you're kind of a noob. 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's probably my first big collection.
Now you said we found out what your first piece of your collection was. You said you're into Funkos, but you said you collect a lot of things. What else do you collect besides Funkos?
Comic books, action figures, video games, just a whole bunch of stuff. Like for superheroes wise, it's always been like big on Daredevil, as most people that listen to the podcast already know. Spider-Man's up there, Batman. I collect a lot of Red Hood, I found out recently. I've realized I have a lot of Red Hood comics, figures, and Funkos. Thanos as well. I don't know why. It just kind of accumulated, I guess, before I used to have a strategy with buying Funkos, and then it kind of just spewed. So I just started buying everything I liked, and now I really have to limit myself. But I did not know that a few years ago, so I have way too many Thanoses for some reason.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So you have a mix of good guys, bad guys, DC, and Marvel, is what it sounds like.
Yep, and then I have a collection of horror NECA figures mostly, but I also have a lot of horror Funko Pops. Mortal Kombat, I have a lot of stuff for that as well.
Okay.
Video game memorabilia in general, because I usually try to buy collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's pretty much nothing I won't collect out there nowadays.
Now walk us through how you display your collection. Let's take a time out quick. Let's answer Dave Van Ogden's question. Dave says, I just got home. What kind of super nerd thing is this? Well, Dave, we are doing our first ever live video of our podcast. So not only are we podcasting, but we're doing our first live video, and we are taking questions. But we wanted to give this a try just to see how people would interact, how they'd interact with us. No, how people would interact with us. And tonight we're doing a little bit different. We're talking about collecting, what we collect, why we collect. So if you'd like to give your 2 cents on what you collect and why you collect it too, we'll definitely say that out loud. Yeah. So back to David.
The way I display my stuff, obviously I don't have anything super nice, like case-wise or anything. Like the case behind me here, I don't have it.
Yeah, good call. Right here.
I wish I had something like that.
Okay, fair.
Right now I have just like regular wood shelving, and then like a cubicle thing with all of the cubicles being different, like I guess genres of things I collect. So it's like I have 2 cubicles for my horror figures, 1 for video games, 1 for why am I forgetting? Star Wars. So it's kind of divvied up by that way. Okay. Shelf-wise, I have like 1 shelf of mine is just a mix. It's Marvel, DC, and like my video games are on my shelf. I have like a sports figure there, and then I have another shelving unit all the way to the left, and that's where I kind of break it down easier. So like the bottom shelf is Jaws related stuff because Kayla does that.
Great mind.
And then above that, I believe is DC, and then I have 2 shelves for Marvel. Okay. I have more Marvel stuff than I do DC.
So do you put your action figures together, your Funkos together, or are they interchanged, mix and max?
Right now, my Funkos are all in my closet. All the ones I decided to keep from after I moved and I needed to downsize.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some on my shelves that I do like to display more of. On top of the cubicle is kind of like my Daredevil shrine. So it's like I got my Hot Toys, I got all my action figures up there, I have all my Funkos surrounding them. No posters or anything yet, at least in that area, but I do have posters around.
I just want to point out you said shrine.
Yep, it's a shrine at this point.
That's kind of psychotic.
No, it's okay.
Not many people would consider what they do a shrine.
It's fine.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. I think you might have a hard-on for Daredevil.
It's not the worst thing to have one for, I guess.
Oh, no. Oh, no. All right.
Be worse.
To answer Jesse's question, what did we think of the Flash movie?
I loved it.
I think we talked about this last week, but I agree. I thought it was one of DC's best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were kind of ranking them all over again, and I was actually struggling to put Shazam above them, which I think, if you know me, you would think I would put Shazam above any of those. But Flash was... I love the concept, just like I did the Spider-Verse. I love the concept, just like with the Spider-Verse, how they did the to be continued. I thought that was great. I love the concept that we didn't need a big bad villain for once.
Right.
Like, yes, you had Zod, but the villain was basically the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even a big bad villain. There was no epic fight scene. There was the big fight scene with Zod, but at the end of the day, I just thought the storyline was so good that you didn't even need that villain, and you never see that with superhero movies.
Yeah.
So it was just really cool to actually see from them.
Yeah, because usually when you think superhero, one, you think of the actual hero, then usually right away you think of the villain.
Yeah.
Or even sometimes you think of, the villain first with some cases.
Okay, so we collect video games, we collect comics, we collect Funkos, we collect action figures, you said, right? Is there anything you don't collect or you won't collect?
Cards.
Cards?
Cards in general. I don't collect Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just another thing I don't want to clutter in my apartment.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I love the art for Pokemon and Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. I do think a lot of them look really cool, and I've been tempted to buy a card just because it does look cool. But at the end of the day, I don't play. I've never collected cards, and I don't really want to start collecting cards as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll see what happens in the future. It might change.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like it. So the majority, you would say, if you had to say one figure in general, yours would be Daredevil. You have the most Daredevil stuff. Or would it be Thanos? Because you did just say you had a lot of Thanos.
Surprisingly, I have Thanos, a lot of them. But I would say, if I'm saying I have the most of something, it's definitely Spider-Man. Just because I feel like they pump out Spider-Man figures every time, and I feel like I buy all of them.
Okay.
Daredevil doesn't get as much love. So it's like when I do find something of his, I do try to buy it. But at the end of the day, I feel like Spider-Man has the most out of my whole collection.
Okay. That's fair. And what line? Daredevil line also, or?
Like figure line, or?
Yeah, like, would it be Spider-Man? Would it be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Would it be G.I. Joe? You know what I'm saying? Like, what line dominates your collection?
It's definitely Spider-Man.
Okay.
If I say price-wise, it's definitely Daredevil, because I feel like I've spent the most money on Daredevil.
Okay.
But if it just comes to sheer quantity, it's Spider-Man.
So quantity Spider-Man. Would you say value-wise? Like, what's your most expensive piece? What piece would that be?
Probably the Hot Toys Netflix Daredevil figure I got, which was $350, I believe.
When that came through here? Yep. Okay, so Daredevil for most expensive. Value Daredevil. What do we say? Like rate ration-wise Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And line-wise Funko, would you say?
I would definitely say Funko has my most, I'm
going to do it.
The most in my collection.
Fair.
Oh.
I just couldn't chew that gum anymore.
I'm trying to get more into figures, so it's a lot of Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, NECA. I have a couple. Do I have a Mafex? I don't remember if I have a Mafex.
You got to have at least one Mafex.
I have a Mezco. I did get a Mezco.
Yes. You have to have a Mezco. I feel like you have to have one of all those things.
I have a couple SH Figure Arts figures for anime.
Okay.
Which I forgot I have an anime area in my collection. I don't think I have a Mafex, now that I think about it.
Now I want to see, I'll kind of go through my collection, but I want to see how other people relate. So anybody that's in the comments right now, let us know how you relate with your collections, how that works. Derek, before I jump in, Derek Van Rokel asks, thoughts on box versus loose?
It really just depends on what it is for me. If it's an expensive piece that, obviously, I'm kind of going back on my word because my Hot Toys figure is displayed out of box. But I guess it really just depends. Like I have the Defenders box set for Marvel Legends.
I want to butt in there because I think with Hot Toys, Funko, stuff like that, you can display that loose and still put it back in the box. I want to say more or less, when I think of box versus loose, and I could be wrong with what Derek's saying here, but I think of like if I had a He-Man sealed, I wouldn't take that off card.
No.
You know what I mean? You're right. If it's vintage or expensive, I would never take that off card. And it's how it displays. Like the McFarlane Demon Slayer, they're probably never going to go up in value, but those things were gorgeous and they display really, really well loose.
Right.
And so that's why I have those loose.
Yeah. Funko-wise, I mean, I keep all mine in box.
Yeah.
The only ones I do take out is if it has a damaged box or if I know it's not going to go up. Like I have a Porg or a couple Porgs that I know are not going to go up in value that
never,
I take out.
Ever.
No. They could stay in the $5 bin.
The Porgs are going to be poor forever. So with my collection, to hit on that one, I do have a pretty decent amount of loose and boxed because all of my Sideshow or Hot Toys, almost, I would say all my Mezcos even are displayed. I do have some NECA, some action figures. I've got a couple Funkos that are loose, but again, that's because they're not valuable or I got them loose because I really wanted it.
Right.
But other than that, yes, I do keep a lot of stuff in the box. I do tend to go towards the vintage, but as of recent, I've been going more towards new because I've fallen in love with Hot Toys. And then even that Mafex Bane that's going to be coming out, best Bane I've seen yet. So I love that classic Bane. That will come out of box, 100%. Oh, that will go in my display case. If we were to talk like my collection, I think a lot of people know that I'm a huge He-Man fan. And I've got certain genres that I love to stick with. He-Man, Voltron, Batman, those type of things. And so 1/3 I would have to say my collection is all Masters of the Universe. Whether it's vintage loose, vintage on card, classics loose, classics on card, Funkos, whatever it may be, right? That is for sure 1/3 of my collection. I have... like what you said you don't do, I do have some sports cards. I do have some Pokemon cards. I collect those purely for value. So I do that strategically, right? Comics, I'm both. I love the artwork, so I get a lot of new comics for the artwork or the storyline. But then I also do get a lot of newer ones off speculation. I get a lot of older ones off value. That's what I love the most. But even though I love the look of those old comics, Batman is the one vintage that I collect because I love that. The other ones are keys, right?
Right.
And if I were to talk about my most expensive piece out of my collection, I would have to say it is probably, I could have a 3-way tie. I don't know. I'm not sure. My Eternia set that is almost 100% sealed would be one of them. The first version of Battle Cat I have, which is graded, is right up there with that value. And then a Hulk 181. Those are my top 3 pieces that I actually have, yeah. And I know the value of that because of the condition it's in. That would be up there also. But as far as collecting, mine's like very strategic. Ever since I was a kid, I had to just be like when you walk in my office, it's like a museum, right? Like everything is portioned out right. It looks good where it sits. I don't have anything stacked on top of each other unless it's display cases. I may not be the best with like posing some of these Hot Toys.
I'm not either.
But my Mezcos look great. My Moon Knight. Woo! I actually have a Moon Knight. It's the old Toy Biz one.
Yeah.
I took that out of box. And that thing, because it has a rubber cape, that thing is sick because I have it almost looking like it's slide kicking. But because of the rubber cape being so heavy, it holds them. So it's like perfect. They should go back to rubber capes. I would have never guessed that. And I always expect to go home and in my office see that Moon Knight falling over, but he doesn't. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, or at least I like that more. Okay, so Dave Van Ogden likes inbox more. But I agree. I do have some Pokemon cards. Like I said, I have an autographed Kobe Bryant, a lot of random stuff, and I do have them set like in certain areas. Like all my comics even are in certain areas, whether they're new or vintage. I have this whole weird system going on. And then I got wrestling figures, old school wrestling figures. I like to mix and match. So if I find a really good looking new school wrestling figure, I would definitely get one and put it somewhere. But so far, with the wrestling figures, I like the old ones better. If they made new ones that were really articulated and nice looking, I think it'd be a different story.
Right.
Like the new ones, though, they just look pretty boring. And even like, I don't know how to explain it. Even like the elites, they're cool and they're more articulated. But to me, they just don't look that cool. Like maybe I guess if they did really cool fabric or something like that, I know they put more into it for sure too. But yeah, that's really what my collection looks like.
I know you got a big Gremlins area too.
Oh, my NECA Gremlins.
Yep.
The only NECA I will actually, it's the only honest NECAs I will actually purchase because I've had nothing but issues with NECAs, whether they're top heavy and they fall or they won't. Like even I got that last Ronin armored one, and the dude falls over all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. You shouldn't have to use a stand unless you want to pose it. Like my NECA Gremlins, I do have them posed certain ways. But those are honestly the only NECAs, even though NECA makes some really good looking shit. Really good looking shit. I just don't see the value in having something you can't keep standing.
Yep, I have a problem with my NECAs too, especially like my slashers. Because I always like to have them like I think 2 Jasons, and I always have them with the machetes up, look like they're about to hit. My Michael Myers has the knives in his hand about to stab someone. Chucky, I think, had my Chucky has the attachment where it looks like his arm was cut off and then there's the blade coming out of it.
Okay.
I think it's from like the second Child's Play or something.
That's the one thing though, is NECA does all horror.
Yep.
So like it's so hard not to do NECA because of that. I wish Mezco would do more horror. They've done some horror and they're pretty good figures. You definitely can get them to stand better, even though they're about the same size as NECA, but like what, 2.5 times the expense.
Yep.
Sideshow pieces, really cool to display because I've got a couple of those, and I love the display of those and their accessories that they come with too in the size. They look really good and they fit in those cabinets, the IKEA cabinets. You can put 2 boxes behind them as the display for the look, and then you put the figures in front and they'll fit them all. What's up, Joe Belko? Yeah. Just had to say that. And then basically Dave Van Ogden is saying that his office looks like a shit show right now is basically what he's saying with that comment.
Yeah, and Kayla's going through and reorganizing our room. So at one point, all my comics were in boxes on my dresser inside of our closet. And now I think they're just on the floor.
Nice.
So
nice.
At some point, I'll find a better place for them, but I can tell she's done reorganizing everything. I'm not even going to touch them.
You're talking about like the empty boxes that you just
the NECA like
from the figures you display?
Boxes. No, the comic boxes for comics.
Oh God, yeah. No, those. So what I do, these little, I don't know, you get them at Target, right? The little cube ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I have those, and I have toys and stuff on the top ones, and then on the bottom ones, that's where I put my comic boxes because they're the perfect size to fit right in those cubes. Perfect length. And then they display well too. And then that's where I keep all my new ones.
Okay.
So yeah. I've got I think 5 comic boxes in my office other than one long plastic one to put my really good ones in. Yeah.
Yep. I just have 3 short boxes.
Nice. That's okay. Doesn't matter how many boxes you have or how big they are.
Yeah. I needed to get a new one. I was running out of room.
There you go. That's how it works. You just keep stacking. Keep stacking. I know we have one customer where they turn their closet into like a whole system so they can put all their comic boxes in there.
Huh.
That's wild. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I wish.
Joel Balco says, love my sideshow and hot toys. I would agree. I have probably 5 now total. I probably have the same amount of Mezcos because I really do enjoy Mezcos, even though they're a totally different size. But the other thing I really do like They do pose well. Sometimes can be difficult depending on the character. Are Super 7 Ultimates.
Yep.
They're killer, man. They really are.
I only have one Super 7 Ultimate right now.
Yeah.
Yep, I had to pick up a Deep Space Homer.
Really?
Yep.
That's the one.
That was the one. I don't know why. I just wanted a Homer Simpson in my collection, and that was there.
And we both talked about SpongeBob and Sandy, and neither of us got one yet.
I've wanted to get a SpongeBob.
I know the SpongeBob one would be cool on like a cartoon type display. You know,
I don't have a cartoon display though. So.
I don't. Well, I mean, I have the Ren and Stimpy, but I don't have any other really cartoonish type stuff.
No, if they were to make like Family Guy or Futurama Super
cool.
7s,
yeah,
I would go for those. Those are something
Family Guys would look really good too because the way they're able to do it.
Oh yeah, they definitely need to. Family Guy has like no merch anymore. They had Funkos like in 2016 or something.
What I still don't get is when you do The Simpsons, why the hell do you do these Simpsons? Why didn't you start with the whole family?
Right.
And then like maybe Milhouse or someone, you know, the main characters to get people excited about it and collect it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I like the Super 7 I have, the Homer, because he doesn't have good articulation, I would say.
Yeah.
Since he's a wide guy, he can't move that easily. I actually had really terrible paint rub with him because his helmet can come off.
Oh.
And because you have to kind of like twist it a tiny bit to get it off.
Okay.
And it starts rubbing the paint at the bottom.
Oh.
So
it's great to know for people that were going to get it.
Yep. Now his helmet stays on, even though it doesn't have the head I want on him. But oh well.
Well, we know Joe Belko loves his Hot Toys and Sideshow. But anybody else out there, do you collect any of those types like Mezco, NECA, Sideshow, Hot Toys, anything like that, Super 7s, that you prefer one over the other, or is it more or less just what they make? Oh, I'm stumped.
That's a good question.
That's a great question. I don't know. You know what? You're going to have to Google that, Pat. I don't have time. It's not that I don't have time. I don't have the resources. I got to keep the screen up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I got to use my phone for the podcast, so I got nothing.
I got my phone.
I got literally nothing here. So, Pat, you're going to have to look that up for us and let us know why that is. It's a great question, though. Odd question, but a great question.
Yeah, I think
inquiring minds would like to know.
I don't think I have anything vintage either myself.
What's the oddest piece you have in your collection?
Oh, I'm going to have to think about that because I'm not even too sure myself. Because there's like, to any non-nerd, any of my things can be weird.
Yeah.
Anything can
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, it'd have to, like, to me, odd would be something that maybe doesn't fit in there.
I have a few Eric Cartmans just kind of put in there. I have a wizard and I have his superhero persona, the Coon.
Yep.
I have him and I have the wizard version of him.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense with the rest of my collection because, like I said, I don't have like an animation area unless you count anime as it. But I'd say that's probably the oddest. Otherwise, I have my diploma in the middle behind one of my figures, so I guess you could say my diploma.
That'd be the oddest piece if you're collecting it. Yeah. I guess so.
So
I have Jeff.
Jeff. Oh, the shark?
I have Jeff the Shark. Just in with my Moon Knights and my Iron Fist. Yep. Because I have nowhere else to put him. He's Marvel. So you got Jeff the Shark. That would have to be my oddest, I would honestly say. Okay, so Trick or Treat Studios. Dave, are you talking about like the Terrifier they did? Because Trick or Treat, they don't do a ton of stuff anymore, I don't feel.
I feel like they do a lot more props than they do figures.
I would say props too, like masks. Masks, and yeah, I agree. You should feel lame. You buy only NECA, really? Ugh.
And they're so spendy.
Well, but
depends on what you get, at least.
Again, like I would say, I wish these companies would come back. I wish Super 7 Ultimates would go back to 45. I wish that Mezco would drop down to, if it was average, 75. 75, and if you're going to do these expensive ones, make them 90 or whatever. NECA, I think NECA, for what they give you, they're okay where they're at.
They usually give you a good amount of accessories.
You know what I mean?
Stuff.
Marvel Legends stuff can go back down to 20 for sure. But yeah, I mean, some of these companies, I wish they'd come back down in price a little bit. It'd make it a lot easier. Because, Joe, you know as much as I do, when you're collecting any type of Hot Toys, you're lucky to be getting on the low side $220. you know, and that's the horror ones that come with like nothing, right? Other than that, you know, some of the Star Wars 220, but they're usually 240 to 280,
250 is like
and then you start getting into some of these more like, what's that, Carnage 400 and stuff,
445.
Yeah, I mean, you start getting into some of these that have magnetic and all these other big long pieces.
That guy's tall, dude.
Yeah,
he is huge.
Super cool.
I think it's worth the price, honestly.
I'd have to see him outside that box. I'm telling you right now, I want to take that Super 7, whatever the hell that thing is, that robot thing, out, because that thing looks badass. I'm telling you right now, that thing looks badass. I don't even know what the hell it's from. It is just one cool looking robot with like
the
blade forearms.
One? Huh? Was that the 3-0 one that's up there?
Is it 3-0? What did I say?
The big red one?
Yeah.
You said Super 7.
Oh, yeah. Nope, I meant 3-0. My bad. It's 3-0. You're right. Yeah. I'm parched. Gotta stay hydrated.
Water break?
Yep. F-13 ones from you nerds. F-13. What's F-13? I have no idea what that is.
He stumped us yet again.
Damn it, Pat. Why are you doing this to us? We're never going to be able to do a live video again. We're just going to have to stick to podcasting.
Yep.
It's so much easier to just talk to stuff. Or
talk about stuff.
Yeah. See, I can't even talk anymore because of this.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like jets or some shit.
See, that's what I was thinking, like cars or some shit.
Yep. See, now, when you pump that out, I would definitely say that if Hot Toys came out with another Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees, they could do it. They could do all these different Jason Voorhees, because the one I have is very plain. It's very plain.
Is that the one that was here?
Yeah, I got one of those. And I think you could do like the beat up mask. You could go so many different ways with it. And I really hope they do another ghost face, since I had to give mine up.
Joel had the same idea as us.
See, exactly. I'm not the only one. That's what I'm saying.
See, I feel like with Sideshow, I feel like for Jason, the perfect Jason they could make would be from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite design for him.
Okay.
I think that would actually come out great with like cloth goods and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Another Ghostface would be nice, especially giving him masks from the newer movies and stuff too.
Well, in they can do like accessories, right? Like the Ghostface, I don't think it came with much. Maybe a couple pieces for the hands, but you could have like a bloody mask,
right,
a normal mask. I think with Jason too, they could have did that, so then you don't have to keep buying them. But the mask mine has is like the normal, not even the red one. I don't think
no, because it's a blue one, isn't it?
One. Yeah. Not blue mask.
Well, yeah, but like it has like blue stripes or something on it, right?
No, I don't look that closely to it. But it's just one of those things that everything about it's cool, except for I wish it would have came with a couple more. See, yeah, whatever. And it probably doesn't stand up. So there. I don't know if they did do a deluxe version.
I don't think so.
Have they ever done like Universal Monsters? Because they would knock it out of the park with those. The way they do clothing and stuff.
I feel like they haven't, which is weird.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I do like horror stuff. Horror stuff is cool. It just depends on what the horror stuff is. Like I said, once you start collecting these lines, you realize really quick, because like your Hot Toys are this tall, and then your Mezcos are like this tall. So then you put them in a case together, and it just looks funny, you know. But I do know for a fact we have Hot Toys Moon Knight's coming in soon from the Netflix series, and I gotta see what this looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna be sold on it yet, because I like the old outfit, but shit, I don't know. I don't have anything.
I really like that new outfit.
Do you?
I do. So this might be dangerous. For me.
I'm excited. I think I got the thing that it was gonna be charged like a couple weeks ago. I feel so they should be here real soon.
Man,
I know, and I think we only have 2 coming.
I'm gonna have to tell Kayla. I'm like, well, after our vacation, I'm gonna be flat broke.
Yeah. Joel even says it looks amazing in the promos.
I know.
So that's one of those things. When that comes, that might be another edition. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. There's a couple for a while there. I'm like, I'm going to need this one. I'm going to need this one. Because then the Batman's going to be coming out. And I think they're doing the Bat car again.
Oh,
I don't have a Batman yet, but I'm telling you what, that Robert Pattinson Batman, that looks badass.
I love his suit.
I know. And that's going to be a tough one to pass up if that comes out.
I was really on the fence about that King Shark. But then after I got to hold him after taking those photos, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't buy him because he's kind of disappointing.
I'm telling you, once you get him out of there, though, and then what sucks with that is I really wish Hot Toys would have made his stupid little friends, he calls them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they would have had those in there. Luckily, Tony bought one of those
the Beast Kingdom
ones, and he didn't want them. So I bought them I don't even care. I'll give you $5 a piece for them.
Huh.
So I bought like 7 of them from him. So I have those with that Hot Toy now, and it looks amazing. It looks so amazing. Yeah.
The one thing I wish with the Hot Toys is if you could like move his mouth.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being
I think it's just his arms.
His arms, yeah.
And he's got 2 extra arms too.
Yeah.
And he comes with a little starro.
Yeah.
Which to me, I was like, I don't quite get that. I would have rather seen like him come with his stupid little friends, like I said, but still.
Or like the little bomb he made that was in the shape of
that would have been awesome. That would have been so cool. Yeah, that would have been so cool. So Joel, they just announced also Indiana Jones, which I think would be really cool. Yeah, Hot Toys just announced Indiana Jones.
So did Mezco. Was
it Mezco that announced it?
It might have been.
I thought it was Hot Toys.
I saw one that Mezco did.
Okay. Maybe it was Mezco. It probably was Mezco. So we'll see that one in 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Right about there.
Yep.
Doc and Marty, I think that would be cool if they did a vehicle. That's the one thing I like is Hot Toys is not afraid to do vehicles. And they do a great job. Like that tumbler we had. Yeah. Oh my God, right? And Super 7 isn't afraid to do vehicles, but they don't sell. Crazy enough. Yeah. Bat Cycle would be cool, but that Batmobile from that movie would be better because that reminds me of like an old school Camaro. It looks fucking badass. That thing as a hot toy, I probably would buy because trust me, I don't have a lot of space. I really don't, so I'd have to rearrange. But
it's like, I don't know. There's something about that one that I just like.
That car,
yeah,
amazing. 3 cars that I think from Batman. Well, okay, 3 for sure that are epic. Right? The Adam West, the old school.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 89.
Yep.
And then the new one.
Oh, yeah.
I would throw the Tumbler maybe in there, but not 100 yet.
I didn't care for the Tumbler. It wasn't too much of like a Batmobile instead of a Bat tank.
Yeah. A bat ass vehicle.
Yeah. I think 89 is probably my favorite. Then it would be the newer one from Pattinson, and then it'd be Adam West.
I'd always have to go back to the Adam West one.
I love the design.
Yeah. Me personally, that would be my number one. For sure. Because we had the 89 Batman one here. Because it came with the Cocoon.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you were here. We had it here for a bit, and then we finally sold it to this gal from Wisconsin.
Maybe when I wasn't working here, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. I thought you were. But yeah, that'd be fine.
Oh, yep, the animated series one too. That one's great.
I don't want to watch that.
That's such a shame.
You're
a big Batman fan.
Here we go with more acronyms. I have no idea.
Well, I'm glad I recognize that one.
Good. Is that just the normal animated one?
The one from the 90s.
Is it all black?
I believe.
I mean, obviously they're all black, but I'm pretty sure I know which one it is too. But what's up, Adam?
Let me look it up for you.
You know what would make this t-shirt more epic is if it glue in the dark. Because it's scare glow, but I don't think it does glow in the dark. I just thought about that, seeing it in the video. That'd be cool. That'd be badass. Yeah. So
it's kind of like the shape of the 89 one without the circle turbine in the front.
Listen, I don't watch a lot of cartoons. I just started getting into anime. Listen, I'm proud of myself at my age to start watching anime now.
That's true.
And now I'm getting into it. I think they're great storylines too. That's a thing. So, okay, since we're on this topic, Sam Anthony, what's up, dude? We were just talking about you today, actually. Since we're getting into this, if we had to go with a Batman line, what would be your favorite Batman line for like the outfits and shit?
Oh God.
So like everybody can answer this one too.
Like my favorite bat suit or whatever.
Well, okay, let's say you loved the 89 Batman one, but you didn't love the Riddler from that time era. What would be the time era where you loved all their outfits, or you had to decide on one? What era would you decide on?
Oh God. Honestly, I'm very partial to the 89 era.
Yeah.
Like I feel like one Adam Adam West. Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman. So, like, I love his suit design. I thought Catwoman's design simply iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Danny DeVito's Penguin design, honestly, he already looked kind of, Danny DeVito looks like a weird guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That made him look like the weirdest guy you could ever meet. Big pointy nose. Didn't he bite like someone's nose off too in that movie?
Yeah.
Yep, and then spit it out. Who else was there? Was it? No, the Riddler wasn't Michael Keaton.
Well,
that was Val Kilmer. Right?
It was a little bit after, yeah, but I would still consider that in that like
that
trilogy
era.
or whatever. Yeah.
The only thing, because I guess technically, because it's a Schumacher movie, technically Batman and Robin's part of it. I don't like Batman and Robin's designs for any of them because bat nipples don't look good. I didn't care. I liked the Mr. Freeze look. I didn't care for the lines given by Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
I thought Bane didn't look the worst. He definitely looked weird being super bulked up, but obviously it was akin to the comics that way.
Yeah.
But he's also not just a dumbass and just
right.
Poke his way around.
Yeah.
But I think 89 has my favorite designs. And then it would jump, if I had to choose a second one, would be the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Okay.
Just
even though we haven't seen many characters, but
right.
You like what you have seen so far.
Yep, I feel like it's grounded. It seems like something that can be made by someone in real life instead of it being like, I don't know, just silicone or whatever they use. So
I would honestly have to go hands down with the Adam West era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some iconic
very simple, but that Penguin outfit is my all-time favorite Penguin outfit.
Yeah.
By far. I wish they would just bring Penguin back, but give him those colors because you could make something more modernized, but that purple and everything they did with that, even the little eyeglass in front of his eye. Oh my God. That's it. Yeah. I loved the Riddler outfit back then. Absolutely loved it.
Just the green jumpsuit with the purple.
Yep. I loved the Catwoman outfit. So you didn't get to see all the characters, but I loved what we did see. Now I wish they would come out with something with maybe the Patterson where we could see some of these other characters in a cool way. Because like Penguin to me is just not the Penguin. I know the twist they did, but he's more like a mobster and he didn't even have a cool outfit, Right. Gotham, if you've never seen it, it's a TV show. I recommend you go see it because they did such a great job with all the characters. It was amazing. Yeah.
I saw the Batsuit from it and I was like grossed out by it. I didn't like it.
The Batsuit?
Yeah, because they showed him as like Batman right towards the end, I thought.
Well, I was going to say, if anything, it would have been like way at the end because it's all about the villains for the most part. The stash is not great for the Joker. Yeah, but
he didn't
I think
want
the
to
outfit
shave
was
it.
cool.
Yeah. They had to work around it because he refused to shave his mustache. Kind of like Henry Cavill for Justice League. Actually, he couldn't because of the Mission Impossible movie. But
no. Little side note there. I guess you didn't know that about Henry Cavill, did you?
Yeah.
Booyah. And what? What else? We just saw you were just watching the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, they released a full trailer. They had a teaser trailer before and barely showed anything. I'm excited for the movie. I didn't care for the games too much, but the storyline they had, great. I thought it was a great horror story. I'm also excited because the animatronics like Freddy and Bonnie, the people that are making the suits or the animatronics is Jim Henson, his estate or whatever.
Oh, really?
So they look really good. Not they don't even look Muppet-like. They look like they came straight from the game.
So according to Joel, I was actually just getting here to answer your question. According to someone I know, they had stated that this is a rated R movie.
I hope so.
That
I'm really happy if
it is going to be a true horror movie. So, and this is coming from a guy that actually reps the people that wear these outfits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. So, he was, because I was saying the same thing. I'm like, if it's anything like the whole Nick Cage one, I'm like, I'm out. Okay.
Okay.
I'm out.
It was bad, but in a good way for me. I loved Willy's Wonderland. I thought it was like the most Nick Cage movie you can watch. Besides the one where he actually played himself.
It was like a car wreck or someone eating one of those giant hamburgers, right? You don't want to stop watching, but you know it isn't any good.
Exactly.
What's going to happen is not going to be any good. But you can't stop watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how that movie was to me, because I was just like, this is like the dumbest fucking thing. The guy doesn't talk. And it's like literally, I don't know. Yeah.
It was in the weird binge of the mid or late 2010s where Nicolas Cage was just doing stuff just to do
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That's the only way you can say it. As a matter of fact, if you remember when I watched The Terrifier, right? I watched it and I've watched the first one. I was like, oh, this is all right. And then I watched the second one because everybody's going absolutely ape shit about this movie coming out. And I'm like watching it and I'm like, this is the worst freaking graphics or CGI I've ever seen in my life. There's no way this guy could do this. And it's because I didn't know the premise of The Terrifier. And then I realized shortly after that, that's what they're going for, is the old school like slasher. They don't want all that CGI. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that he's like Freddy and Jason and shit. I didn't realize that at first. I thought it was just a normal dude that was killing people. Like, there's no way you could just rip this chick's head off. Like, there's no physical way. The dude's skinnier than shit. But yeah, I got it. I figured it out. It worked.
See, I really want NECA to make a Art the Clown figure.
Yeah,
I would buy.
Well, Trick or Treat did that.
Yep, they made the bigger
one. Yep.
See, I want one to go with the rest of my horror.
That makes sense. I wonder if they just don't have the rights to them.
Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
Yeah. I mean, it is starting to get big, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, let's just go all the way back. I really wish they'd make another Jaws movie. That was literally terrifying. I know, and the Meg was good for what it was.
Second one comes out in August.
When I watch a horror movie, I don't want humor.
Yeah.
I'm looking for certain things, right? Did we have humor in Jaws? Really? No, we did not. It was mystery. It was killing. And it was, let's just say, more mystery. And the music that got you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was a suspense is what it really was. And that's kind of what you want. It's the unknown. The unknown is what is really awesome.
Yep.
We already know. We already know. And Dave or anybody else that reads comics, so next month here, we're going to be doing a comics and convo. And what you'll be able to do, it'll be a Sunday. You can come on in. You can bring some comics in, whether you just want to show them off or let somebody look at it or whatever. Maybe do a trade. I don't know. But we're going to be doing something fun. Yeah, that's it. I wanted to plug that real quick because I think it's going to be great. Something cool for the community. Is it a horror or thriller?
It's hard to say.
I think it would have been classified as a horror, especially back in the day.
In the time, yes.
Yeah, because you saw blood, right? You saw
people
limbs.
getting mutilated.
Yeah, exactly. Now
nowadays, it would be probably classified as a thriller with horror.
Yeah, because horror to me nowadays would be like some type of killer and whatnot. But yeah, I still thought it was horror. So that's what I thought it was.
Sticking with that theme. What's your favorite horror movie of all time?
Oh, God. Shit. I don't know, because I grew up on Friday the 13th. I really did. I watched those as I remember watching those as a little kid even. So it's like, for me, I think it was a thing about Jason that just it was just freaky as hell, even though you knew he wouldn't keep coming back. But horror to me is that. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is actually scary.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's a definite, for sure, that could be real. And it's like, that dude's dope.
Yep.
But Hellraiser, I think you got to be a real fan of Hellraiser to have that be your favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
I've watched the new one, and the new one was okay too. And granted, it has been a while since I watched the old Hellraisers. They're just this weird thing to them. Yeah. I don't know. It is definitely fucked up. Oh, yeah. Hellraisers are definitely fucked up.
I feel like with me with horror movies, I have to have a modern favorite and I have to have a classic favorite because I feel like it's just hard to compete with whatever is coming out new too, because that's always going to be fresh in my brain compared to I have to find it on the streaming service to watch it.
Okay.
So for mine, I feel like if I'm going off of old school, kind of, I know you're not a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Nightmare on Elm Street.
I was as a kid.
Yeah.
I thought they were great.
My personal favorite is The third one, Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
The soundtrack was awesome. The kills were great. I like the premise of them being able to fight back in their dreams using like powers. I like
That's where I think it got weird for me.
Yeah.
Even though, okay, let's be honest, it was already weird. But yes, that's where it got weird for me. Because now all of a sudden you give these people, but it is their dreams. So
Right.
okay, yeah.
For modern, it's hard to say because there's a lot of great ones that have come out recently. A lot of the Jordan Peele movies are up there for me, like what is it? Get Out, Us. I haven't seen Nope yet.
Nope wasn't like, that's why I haven't seen some of those other ones. That's why I don't understand why people are on that horse ride. But
I would say they're more thrillers with horror aspect kind of thing.
they remind me, I hate saying it, but they remind me of M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh God. Oh,
they
God.
do. M. Night Shyamalan, awesome storytelling, and you're just waiting for that epic thing to happen, and it never happened.
But
it's such a letdown.
I feel like hands down. Have you seen Hereditary?
No.
Go watch that movie.
Okay.
That is my hands down favorite horror movie of like the modern era so far.
Interesting.
It's really, really fucked up in parts.
Like Human Centipede fucked up?
Not that bad. Not that bad. It is a movie. That's all. That's really all I can say without like giving stuff away. But it's a nice like supernatural like incantation curse, that kind of storyline. So it's not like a serial killer or anything like that, but there's some shocking. It's an emotional movie. There's shocking moments, like right in the first half of the movie, there was like a kill that came out of nowhere. Like you did not expect this person to die, especially in the manner it happened. And you're sitting there like your jaws dropped. You feel bad for the character that they're with. It was a ride.
I would have to say, what's happening, Ryan? Welcome in. I would honestly have to say, if we were talking modern, 3 of my top for modern, because I think they were fresh. I think they could be realistic, and that freaks me out more than anything. Scream by far. Scream by far is one of the newest horror that I don't know if you can beat it. I would say Purge. Purge was another one, because that first one just got you thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be one of the first ones to admit that I was like, oh, this shit's going to happen in the future.
Oh, I have another one, too.
And then, now you made me forget. I had 3 right there. Shit. And it was those 2, and it was... I was going
to say, my other one would be The Strangers.
There, that was it. It was The Strangers, yes.
Ah.
The first one, anyways.
The first one. I didn't see the second one.
Dude, that movie was super freaky. And they did such a great job with making it freaky.
It's so weird because it's like I love the supernatural stuff too. But like when it comes to things that make you think like, oh shit, this can really happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds weird, but it makes it better for me.
Strangers is the reason Ring came out with doorbells. Let's just say it.
Yeah, I don't blame them. If I watched that movie, I would too.
The new Evil Dead was amazing.
I still haven't seen it.
The new Evil Dead. If you have not seen it, go see it. That was amazing.
Is it streaming anywhere yet? Is it on like Max or something?
I don't know, but we watched it and I was just like, this is everything a horror movie. Saw was a good one too. Yeah, I agree. This was everything a horror movie needed, because just the blood is just the oh god, dude, just go see it. It's so good.
I need to find it. I really wanted to see it, but I just couldn't make it to the
Pat says it's on HBO.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Kayla's gonna have to get our HBO
It's
Max
so
again.
good. It's so good.
I
Seriously.
need to watch it.
But if you went back, if I could just throw this out there and whatever, is oh shit. 13 Ghosts? Is that what it was called?
Is that the remake or the original?
Great. I think it had Matthew Lillard in it.
Okay, so it was like the remake.
Yeah.
That
Such a great underrated movie.
Early 2000s.
It was. Oh yeah,
dude. Since my siblings are older, they were big horror people as well. I remember watching that when I was like 6. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, such a great underrated movie. Along with is it House on Haunted Hill, the one with Famke?
Maybe.
If anybody knows this, let me know if I'm right there. If it's House on Haunted Hill that has Famke in it, and she's one of the main characters. But that movie was really good too. You should go check that out. Yeah. It's really similar to 13 Ghosts, but it's like a haunted asylum. is what it is. I am right, he says. Perfect. Yeah.
It reminds me of like, and I don't even remember when I watched it, but I remember I watched a movie called The Crazies.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
That was also, I believe, set in an asylum. I think.
No.
Or was it a hospital?
The Crazies?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where the people go nuts from whatever?
Oh yeah.
That's The Crazies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Descent was pretty good. I think that's a totally different premise. Descent is more like I don't know. Wasn't that one in the cave? I'm pretty sure it was.
Feel like it would be. Just by the name alone.
Feel like it would be.
Just by the name alone.
47 meters down, the first one with Mandy Moore in it.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, I'm skipping all over the place. Holy shit. That one will freak you the fuck out from ever going cage diving. That has done it for me. I really want to go cage diving with sharks. That movie right there ruined everything about it for me.
Oh God, it's just like that James Franco movie where you, was it like 43 hours or something?
I was gonna say,
like
you
that?
can't actually say a James Franco movie scary, right? Because we're talking about the same guy that's in
I'm not saying scary, but
Pineapple Express and shit.
but like the premise of it would terrify you from doing something.
Yeah.
Because if I remember, it's based off a true story.
Yeah.
It's about the guy that he like was going hiking or something. He fell and got his arm trapped between something, and he was like surviving for 43 hours.
Oh,
and
really?
eventually had to cut it off.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't remember the whole premise of it, but I remember that would like terrify you because it could happen. Well, it did happen.
So Pat says 47 meters is bomb. They did a second one. I did see the second one.
127 hours. That's what it was.
Welcome Cody Harvey to the conversation, by the way. Some random ass movie that he knows because of James Franco, I'm assuming. But 47 meters, the second one was okay. It wasn't anywhere near it, but that first one was really good. And that movie, Jaws, scared me from water, period. I don't even care if I'm in a fresh lake. If I can't see water, I curl my legs up. Okay, 47 meters ruined any type of cage diving for me.
Never even wanted to do it.
Because the thing the rope snaps. And like that right there would freak me the F out. Like I would go into a panic attack, anxiety through the roof. I don't know about the Eli Roth movie, but I just remember that Famke was in it. She was one of the main characters. And I remember it was pretty crazy, man. Like there's some pretty crazy, like, because basically there's all these different ghosts that are in it. So it's kind of like 13 Ghosts too, but not the same way. And there's one that's a surgeon. And basically what ends up happening is he like actually cuts people's heads open.
Jesus.
And that's the thing. Like Rob Zombie does crazy movies, right? He does crazy movies. And then somebody else said a movie that I agreed with, or I was thinking. I can't remember now. I don't know. I was thinking. I had to have been thinking another movie. But yeah. Really, it took that long, question mark, because Jaws made me never want to go into a cage. I would say Meg. Okay, no. Deep Blue Sea was the next best shark movie.
With Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, the first one. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. The second one wasn't that good. The third Sherry Moon Zombie.
Hats onto something.
The third one wasn't horrible. But the Meg is a good shark movie. They just need to cut some of the humor and make it more scarier. I'm
afraid that movie's gonna that franchise is gonna turn like a Fast and Furious type thing where it gets like more ridiculous every time.
I don't think it'll go that long. I think it's gonna be like Piranhas.
Yeah, where it just gets like two movies.
Because like there's Piranhas and there's Piranhas 3 Double D, and then it was all about big boobs. Is all that was. Yes, that had LL Cool J as the cook in it. Remember he had a little parrot?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
God. I forgot he was in it.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in it.
Yeah. But yeah, Rob Zombie's movies are freaking awesome. Like, nobody ever agrees with me, but some of my favorite Halloween movies. Some of my favorite Halloween movies were his because they were so gory.
I did enjoy the gore in his movies.
Yeah.
I didn't care for like the story too much. But, like the kills I thought were great. I haven't even seen the Munsters that he made.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I watched like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're crazy, Dave. You're crazy.
You know why he loved that movie, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. I like to, if like I'm not feeling good or if I have absolutely nothing to do, I love finding crappy horror movies. if I were to go back to one of the horror movies, okay, you asked this earlier. If I were to go back to one of the horror movies that really started it for me, that I think it doesn't need CGI. I think what they did, the animation, we've talked about this, lives still up to this day.
Oh, we're talking about the American Werewolf.
American Werewolf in London, the original. That movie freaked me out as a kid because of that werewolf. That werewolf and that transformation was so good. Yeah. Just
I watched like a behind the scenes on that, and I still can't comprehend how they do that.
Really?
Yeah.
That is still to this day probably one of my all-time favorite horror movies, though. I went and watched it one day when I was sick, like months ago, and I'm like, still to this day, that storyline is still good.
Yeah,
it really is.
See, one of my favorite things is like, if I'm home.
Don't worry about it, Pat.
One of my favorite things, if I'm like home with Kayla or something and we're bored, we'll definitely just go through every streaming service trying to find a movie we've never watched.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time it's a horror movie, and I think there was one on, I want to say Hulu, called Spree.
Okay.
It's it has the guy who played Steve Harrington in it. Joe Creary.
Yeah,
he's like
that's his name.
He's
that's
a
his name.
streamer.
Yeah.
And he starts like going crazy and like he does what, like Uber or something, and he starts like picking these people up and then just like driving them somewhere and starts killing them on live video.
Oh damn!
Yeah, it was a good movie. Like, it was kind of underrated. Like, no one really talks about it.
Damn, there's this fly here.
Probably seen me.
Look at! Oh my god! I'm like, whoa!
I disappeared for a second.
I look like the Matrix. Okay, so going back to Killer Clowns that Brandon had mentioned, right? If we really want to go back, you want to watch some crazy Stephen King movies. Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive was a good movie.
And
that was about like basically, I don't know if somebody can help me if it's a poltergeist or something that takes over electronics and vehicles. And basically, like, there's a semi that just runs people right over.
Oh, never mind.
And it has like what looks like the Green Goblin on the front.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a good movie. Yeah. Killer Clowns was another good one. Jeepers Creepers was good until this last one was absolutely horrible. Like, the fact that they even made that thing and thought this is worth throwing out there, I can't say the word anymore, but it makes them capital R's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe we went this whole time without mentioning any other Stephen King movies.
Yeah, true.
I don't know why I didn't think about it, but if I'm going back to my retro classics, The Shining, all the way. That one has to be one of my favorite horror movies.
He definitely had scary ones, but I think we didn't mention them so much is because, I don't know, we're talking about more like true horror.
Right.
Like, those were like thrillers.
Right.
But, yeah. The Shining was, to me, like more of a thriller.
Dr. Sleep was really good, too. That was like the sequel to The Shining.
Red Rum.
Where it's like Danny Torrance gets older and he connects with the Shine with a younger kid and stuff.
That movie scared the shit out of me as a kid. Absolutely. That's what we should do here. Oh no, they're finishing up our podcast is done. We went too long. What we should do is we should do an old school movie showing here one night.
Yeah.
Corey mentioned a movie showing, but we can't do new ones. But we should do an old school horror movie showing here at the store one night. Some popcorn, some drinks.
Yeah.
Let's get everybody here. What's everybody say? Everybody want to come in for an old school movie showing, an old school horror movie? Or we could just have a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
We could have a lineup going. Jaws, Jason, 13 Ghosts, all the way up to Strangers.
Oh, God. There's another.
All the way up to like a new, just really bad horror movie one.
Put Willy's Wonderland up there.
God.
There's another Stephen King movie I'm thinking of that it's the one about the killer car. I can't think of it all of a sudden.
Oh, Christine.
Yep. That one.
That was a good one.
I don't know why, but it freaked me out away from like classic cars for a while. Like, especially where I grew up, that was a terrible time to watch that movie because I lived on a car lot at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing classic cars come through, like, as a kid, freaked me out.
Huh.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get ran over, or these things are going to run through my house or something.
I'm telling you, go watch Maximum Overdrive.
I've seen clips of it, and that's where, after you said the Green Goblin thing, I was like, I recognize
I'm pretty sure this dude gets ran over by his own mower. Like, there's some shit that happens, for sure. Easy there, Dave. Easy. To be fair, that video game tournament took till about 1 a.m., okay?
God, there's
something
is
we're gonna
slowly
do
turning
it.
into a
We're gonna
horror
do
movie
that.
thing.
We're gonna do maybe not a marathon, but we'll do a movie showing.
Yeah.
We'll do an old school movie. We should get some candy in here for people to buy, some popcorn,
Do it
stuff
on
like that. That's
do it
how
on
we
a
end up making
Sunday.
our money, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'd be down, yeah.
We can make it dark in here, turn off all the lights after close, stay here till 9.
Get one person to come out randomly and scare people.
Yep. We'll get the Michael Myers outfit going.
Oh God, that thing's scary even in the light.
Yep.
Every time I walk back there, I think there's someone back there.
I do too.
It freaks me out.
I know. Well, that's what we're gonna do, folks. We are gonna make this happen. We're gonna do comics and combo next month. Maybe we'll do it in August.
That sounds right.
July, August. Yeah. We'll plan it for August. We'll do an old school. We could do a vote, or we could just pick.
We can do
we kind of run this place.
I was gonna say we can always do like a poll on Facebook for what movie or something.
There we go. Yeah.
You guys can pick.
Take some gummies. Jeez.
I mean, they are becoming legal in August.
We could go really old school and do like Ghoulies or The Gate. The Gate, if anybody remembers The Gate.
See, you're talking gibberish to me.
Oh man, The Gate. Yes. Yeah.
Showing your age now.
The Gate, dude. The Gate was great. It was great. Ghoulies was great. It was just like Critters, only they came from the toilet. Okay.
Jeez.
They're pretty cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it because now we're just getting to the point where gibberish. But we'll plan on it. We'll do, Ghoulies. Leprechaun if they redo it because I heard they're going to redo it.
They made a new one and it was so shitty.
No, they're going to redo it again.
Oh, God.
And it's supposed to be a lot scarier.
I hope so.
So, come on, Dave. The Gate was pretty damn good, okay?
He's judging you hardcore.
I would listen. When I was like a teenager, I would watch any scary movie there was. I didn't even care at that point. I just took it all in. I processed it all.
Oh my God, there's like a quote from a horror movie that sticks out to me. I don't remember which one it is, but it's like he goes up to a guy he has a gun in his hand, the killer, and he goes, "Garbage day," and then just shoots the guy.
What?
It's a sequel to. It might be Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I think that's what it is.
God.
It's the shittiest line delivery from one of the worst sequels, and I thought it was hilarious.
That is pretty horrible.
It is.
That's a psychotic killer, not a horror killer. A horror killer would never come up to you, say that, and kill you. A psychotic killer would because they
got nothing
out
better
there.
to do.
That's right. They probably don't know anything else to say either. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, making this fun for us. We will definitely make this happen with a horror movie showing. Maybe we'll throw it out there for a vote and still decide what we want to watch. But maybe we'll put it out there for a vote and we'll watch that.
Get a feel out there.
That's right. Maybe we'll try to do that maybe once every other month. Do some type of movie showing. Yeah, old school one. Throw it up here, watch it, have some fun, enjoy it. Other than that, you guys have a great one. Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully we will see you all soon. Thanks for joining us on the first streaming podcast.
Thank you. Bye.